Hello, everybody, and welcome to FourWheelTech for April 20th. April 20th, 2025. Man, I rolled right into that, and then I'm like, wait, back out. Season 2, Episode 16. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com over there. And along with the sentient AI right there, whose visualizer you see and whose voice you'll hear on the other side of this, we talk about 5 articles. Those 5 articles today are going to be Hayabusa Cheese Wedge, the Kia EV9, the sentient AI just threw an error message. The Kia EV9 blackout package, the 2026 VW, is it Tiguan? Is that how it's pronounced? Tiguan? I've never pronounced it out loud. I just go, it's that. A Tiguan Turbo. The Mini Cooper Coupe Defender, and it's not a model. It's people like me. And the New York International Auto Show 2025. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com. Go over there and become a citizen. We're going to kind of run through this as quickly as we can, I say, without rushing, but we want to stick to, 30 minutes because we've been running way long of late. If you want all of today's show notes, they're in the YouTube stream, and the for each of our live streams, they're already embedded in there. Over on Twitch, though, you can get them after the show by typing in this particular case, FWT, exclamation point FWT for FourWheelTech. And then Omatron will spit them out into the articles, the links into the chat. And then you can follow those links, even when we're not streaming. But we're normally streaming something after our live streams. So that way you can always catch up on the news. At any rate, everything's powered by ohmtown. Boop. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt from the present.
From the present. Like I said in the last episode, it is only the now. Right here, right now. There is no future. There is no past. Embrace the now.
I feel like you need some music.
Now.
There you go.
All right. So we've got all of these articles. Now, what you see here on the screen, if you're new here, and I don't normally do this, but I figure I'll do it today. This is the front page of ohmtown. You click that, it refreshes, and you can filter through it. Once you're logged in, you can swipe things left and right, create your own lists of articles that you like and that you don't like. The ones that you don't like will never appear on any other list than a hidden option right here that basically says yuck. And we use different terminology. We don't say this is the yuck list. But
yeah,
anyway,
it's not yuck.
It's not yuck. I did welcome you to the show, right? Did I? Why do I feel like I need that mitochondrial?
I have no idea at this point.
All right. Well, anyway.
I don't think you did.
Hello, sentient AI.
You did.
I don't know. Man.
It's because you had a long preamble.
Long. Whole 2 minutes. So the channel that we're kind of kicking this from is FourWheelTech over at ohmtown.com. And it has stuff that is specific to automobile technology. We sometimes grab stuff from somewhere else where it's related either tangentially or directly to FourWheelTech. Because it could be a motorcycle, it could be a plane, it could be anything really, but it's
that's true.
Yeah.
If it has wheels, it's pretty much, well, not even wheels.
See, I want to make a joke about a kickstand, but anyway, so you can go over there, and once you sign in, it looks like that. Well, it doesn't look like this when you sign in, you have more functions. So you can actually create other lists and mail them off to people, and you can comment and even use things like Giphy to leave a GIF-based response, like an emoticon or emoji or whatever you want to call it. You can post here, but you have to log in. So doesn't cost anything. There's no ads. I even stripped ads out of this, making the site even faster. It's not making any money. but it's definitely faster and reliable, and nothing gets tracked even over on Google. So, and I don't sell any names. I don't really grab information. It's just need you to sign in so that you can use the additional functionality. These icons change. But anyway, this first article, it's over at FourWheelTech. This wedge of cheese got a Hayabusa swap, and now it's faster than you. Anything is faster than you, really, when it comes to automobiles.
Well, true.
But
unless you're like a gazelle or something.
Oh, I am sprightly like a gazelle. Zing. The Sebring Vanguard commuter car was once the most popular electric car in the world. Never even heard of it. But now it's a wedge of cheese that got a Hayabusa swap. And Brad Brownell put the article together. Don't they go by Bradley? Bradley Brownell? Didn't they once go by Bradley Brownell?
I think so, yeah.
Anyway, Brad Brownell put the article together over at jalopnik.com, and a lot of our articles come from jalopnik.com. So we only get this little tidbit, but it's enough to tease us into going over to it. If you're not familiar with Hayabusa, it's a motorcycle. Very, 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 very fast motorcycle. So
I want one of these cars.
I think it's a two-seater too. From 74 to 79, the Florida-based golf cart with a roof manufacturer pushed almost 4,500 of these cheese wedge-shaped monstrosities into production to combat the rising price of fuel in a post-oil embargo America. So everything old is new again. Each of these weird 1,300-pound two-seaters were equipped with an array of lead-acid batteries and a GE direct current electric motor capable of as much as 6 whopping horsepower. Its Craft Singles yellow example was hauled out of a barn and by Vasily Builds, and the electric gubbins were, it says yanked out and replaced with a Suzuki Hayabusa motorcycle engine, dramatically increasing the horsepower quotient. So
we might have to see the video on this if it shows it driving.
From 6 to 170-ish horsepower. Sorry for stepping on your words. 11,000 RPM sleeper. I'm going to mute it. It's already muted. Oh, I have an ad. Yay, ads. Skip. Anyway. You know what?
It's pretty speedy. The sound's on, by the way.
Yeah, I left it on.
Swap this 50-year-old electric city car that I bought from this 96-year-old legend. That's actually
all right. Anyway, I thought that this was interesting enough to attach to the show because I wanted to see what a Hayabusa inside a cheese wedge would actually look and sound like. There's nothing. The author. Yeah, this is exactly what. See, I know somebody that used to swap out motors for motors and other things. And so I'm familiar with that screaming sound, and they once had a Hayabusa motorcycle that they would drive around, and boy, oh boy. So the social media algorithm delivered Vasily Builds into their eyeballs this week, and they've since been obsessed with the kid's ability to make anything, a lawn tractor, quad, shifter cart, or a jet boat, into a motorcycle swapped death trap. The fabrication skills and insight this guy has will take him a long way, and the author of this will now be watching the entire journey. You should probably too. It'll be worth your time, they suggest. I guess they've done other things, but this one is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that looks pretty interesting. I would not think that was capable of moving at the speed that it did.
Yeah, if you get in an accident in that, I don't suspect... Well, you may be able to walk away from it because you're thrown entirely away from it.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it has a lot of safety protections.
Yeah, the
Plus,
human
it probably
inside...
didn't from the time frame it was built.
Right. Yeah. You're the crumple zone. All right. Let's keep going. This next article is over in FourWheelTech as well. 2026 Kia EV9 Nightfall is the rare blackout package that actually improves performance. Latest car to offer a blackout package is the 2026 Kia EV9 and its new Nightfall edition. Hold on. Nightfall edition. All right. It just made its debut in the New York Auto Show, which we're going to talk about a little bit later because there's more stuff from the New York International Auto Show. This article, though, doesn't look like blackout to me, but okay. It's the Nightfall edition of the Kia EV9, so it's the larger SUV version. But the car is bright freaking white.
Yeah, I mean, it's not what I would think of, but I don't see a lot of badging or anything on it.
The badges are blacked out. Look. But normally in a blackout, everything is blacked out.
Like the whole vehicle is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Daniel Golson over at jalopnik.com put the article together. Kia based the Nightfall edition. I think I don't know. That's just a riff edition on the EV9's dual motor all-wheel drive land trim level, which slots underneath the top spec GT line. It has gloss black accents for the nose, bumpers, skid plates, side skirts, roof rails, side mirrors, emblems, which all look pretty nice. New 20-inch rims have sweet 6-spoke design, and Kia's offering Nightfall in an exclusive Road Rider brown paint color that is sadly didn't send them photos. The shade is described as an eye-catching earth tone signature color that underscores the EV9's desire to venture off the beaten path. That thing will never hit dirt if it's ever owned by anybody. That right there is as close to dirt as it's ever going to get.
Exactly, ever. Through the windshield.
Ugh. Anyway, the Nightfall edition only comes with a black interior, which is too bad, but the seats do have a very cool asymmetrical Mondrian-esque stitch pattern. Okay.
Which is interesting, because Mondrian is typically associated with primary colors, also black and white. But...
So what did... Okay. They don't... there isn't anything else in this. This is such a tiny little whatever. They don't have the price of this, do they? Is that anywhere on this?
No, and I'm guessing they don't have it yet because it's a 2026 edition.
Yeah, maybe. And we don't know what the pricing is going to be with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk about the tax credit, but they don't take anything else into consideration because they don't know what tariffs are going to do to...
But the brand hasn't said what the cost is going to be.
Right. So now that the EV9 is being produced at Kia's factory in West Point, Georgia... Is Kia one of the ones that had the child labor
I think it was Hyundai.
Hyundai, definitely.
I think they're owned by the same parent company now.
Yeah. Everything old is new again, so you'll be able to get those chimney sweeps real cheap soon. Moving on. Next article is over in FourWheelTech. Get more power than a GTI. The 2026 Volkswagen Tiguan Turbo might be cool again. VW Tiguan's new SEL R-Line turbo trim makes an impressive 268 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. And that's what it looks like. I kind of dig this. That color is pretty cool. Logan K. Carter put this article together over at Jalopnik. What do you think of this thing?
It doesn't look like your standard vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It always, what is that little line for? Anyway, it was praised for its distinctive European refinement, premium interior, elevated driving experience. The GTI, the second generation of the Tiguan, ditched the niche appeal and went straight for the segment big dogs like the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V. Toyota RAV4 is big dogs?
Yeah, for sales, probably.
Yes. Okay. Material quality and driving experience dropped down the priority list and were usurped by lower prices, bigger size, and a squishy ride. I'm not really into squishy rides.
But that's not this version.
So for its third generation, announced today, Thank you for that. It was a great lead in. Look at that. You want to read this?
No.
Yeah. It's worth a try. Gains a new top SELR line turbo trim level with more power than the ubiquitous GTI hot hatchback.
You need your microphone.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I had something stuck in my throat. You're talking about this, that microphone, so I can do ASMR.
Yes.
It's harder to do in the tiny mic. Anyway.
It just doesn't work with that.
Look at the back end of that car. Woo! You know, it actually looks like a slightly thicker Mazda 3.
Yeah.
So, but I really dig the color. I like the idea of 268 horsepower and a standard priced vehicle, but we don't know what the price is just yet, right? So to produce this extra power, VW fitted the Tiguan Turbo's 2.0 liter engine with a larger turbocharger, stronger pistons and connecting rods, a nitrided crankshaft, oil cooling for its pistons, and a variable valve lift. All Tiguan turbos come standard with 4-motion all-wheel drive, so none of that power should be wasted on wheel spin. VW claims third-generation Tiguan's weigh around 170 pounds less than the prior generation, thanks to increased use of lightweight materials. So, looks great interior-wise.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the price point is.
Not a lot of noise behind the steering wheel. Got a central screen, a very large central screen compared to what other people have, short of probably the Mini Cooper, which is something we're going to be talking about next. So inside, the Top Dog Tiguan Turbo doesn't look all that different, but it gets genuine American walnut wood decor, which I don't really care about. Verena leather seats, which could be the modern equivalent of rich Corinthian leather of the 70s. Which was nothing but marketing BS. The controls on the steering wheel are operated by real buttons, thank goodness, instead of touch sensitive. I don't really like touch sensitive. I want that positive feel,
yes.
The haptic feedback of it.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, did that actually engage? And then you're getting into a crash or something.
That's right. So they talk about some more of this as the flagship model of the lineup, the Tiguan Turbo, comes standard with fancy features like heads-up display, 12-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, 12-way power adjustable front seats with massage and ventilation. Massage? Whatever. 30-color ambient lighting, 3-zone climate control, wireless charging. How much is this thing? No price.
No price because it's for 2026.
Come on. By this time in 2025, everything okay?
Yes, we had a critter alert.
Okay. So, at any rate, this is pretty cool. I don't know. I like the design. They don't actually have the wheelbase for this. I don't know how big this thing is compared to things like a Mini Cooper or a standard Mazda, or some other vehicle. But the previous generation Tiguan had 184 horsepower, and the new one has 84 more horsepower than last generation. So I dig that. So hopefully this thing is sub $40,000, but it's probably 60.
Yeah, the wheelbase, it says, is... Oh, that's in UK. Never mind. I'm not sure what that means.
It's not in freedom units.
Well, the 2024 is 109.9 inches.
And that's like a mini Countryman.
Just to give a starting point. I mean, I realize this is going to be the 2026, but...
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. I am compelled to stand up for the Mini Cooper Coupe as well, but this author here that is titled an entire article. I feel compelled to stand up for the Mini Cooper Coupe, or Coupe for us here in the States. We don't say coupe, but anyway, I love saying it because it riles people up. The hell is a coupe? Anyway, Well, most so-called car enthusiasts would scoff at the fixed roof two-seater based on the already diminutive hot hatch. I think that this car has a lot going for it, and I like the idea of the little. It's basically like a diminutive TT coupe.
Oh yeah, that is kind of what it looks like.
Yep. So basically take a Mini Cooper and round the top off. Just shave some of it off and round it down toward the back instead of making the boxy top. And
yeah, that's why it doesn't really look like a Mini.
Yeah. So it says, died 10 years ago. While most so-called car enthusiasts would scoff at the fixed two-seater based on the already diminutive hot hatch, from its three-door hatch siblings, aside from shrink the greenhouse and ditch the back seats, they still smile every time that they see it. Admittedly, rarity. It's a rarity now. So the coupe was built using a mini cabriolet chassis as the starting point and increasing the rake of the windshield frame back a little bit, so the A-frame tilted down further, or the A-pillars are tilted down further, and then the B and C pillars are shortened and the top rounded off. So the coupe's roof, or the coupe roof, is just over 1 inch shorter than the standard 3-door, but the sloped rear window makes the car look significantly smaller, and it does. So
I don't think I've seen one of these before.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them, but they're not around. So, and so they're going to lack. Okay, every car in the United States after 2015 had certain electronics required, like backup camera and sensors and stuff, certain sensors. And I would have taken this in a heartbeat, although for whatever reason, the turbos, I don't know. Turbos on minis are really expensive.
Turbos on most cars are really expensive.
Yeah, depending on where they stash them, it's even more expensive. But anyway, the integrated and hydraulically actuated rear spoiler makes the roof look a little bit like the coupe is wearing a backwards baseball cap, one that makes 88 pounds of downward force when deployed. And the author says that they appreciate that. So you could drive a whole lot faster. And the Mini Cooper's wheelbase, the tires are already out in the farthest four corners of the car. So that means that its center of gravity is really low, and then you shave everything off the top, and you put a spoiler on it. It means that everything is going to sit even tighter to the ground, making these things take turns like nobody's business. The only thing that I would have a problem with is all-wheel drive, and I don't believe that these were all-wheel drive. So it says...
right, I don't think they were.
Yeah. The coupe was about 172 pounds heavier than a standard model Mini with a stick. It's also a little bit slower from 0 to 60 with the longer wheelbase Clubman, but the difference is minimal enough. Mini at the time claimed the coupe to be the sportiest model yet, and even without the numbers to back up their claim, they kind of get it. I mean, it is a sporty, but honestly, all of the Minis I think are sporty-ish or sporty adjacent.
Yeah, you can see this zipping around some windy roads in a movie or something.
The JCW coupe, the JCW is John Cooper Works, was over $30,000 in 2012. But you can get that Chili Red example in 2025 for $8,900. They say a bargain at twice the price.
Yeah.
What do you think? Everybody should get one of these.
It's cute, yes.
But still, 2012, I don't know.
Different features on cars than currently.
Yeah. So, all right, let's keep on going. Our last article for today is over in Technology Today. Here are the coolest cars at the New York International Auto Show 2025, according to Engadget. This year marks the 125th anniversary of the New York International Auto Show. And despite concerns over tariffs there, and you're going to hear about tariffs in perpetuity, I suspect, there are still a lot of manufacturers here showing off new models, including a handful of US and global debuts. So without further ado, let's go over it. It says tickets were $22 per adult. And I don't know if somebody went there, huh? Anyway, April 18th to the 27th is when the International Auto Show is going. So you still have a week. And Sam Rutherford put this article together for Engadget.com. The 2026 Subaru Trail Seeker. That almost looks like a render.
Yeah, it really does.
But it's got to be because of the screens that it's driving on. So that's the 2026 Subaru Trail Seeker, which basically looks kind of like, well, all of their others. I mean, they all have
kind
the,
of like
except
their
longer.
Outback, I think.
Yeah, it looks like the Outback, but longer. And they even say it's updated styling, longer body, and improved off-road capabilities feel more suited to be to an outdoor lifestyle. I've actually been thinking about changing to that. Not this particular car, but a Subaru Outback or similar. They say now I admit the follow-up to the Solterra might not be the most exciting announcement, but this model will once again be based on the TNGA platform, which is shared with Toyota's BZ4X, which I like the Toyota BZ4X, but we'll have to see if they actually highlight it in there. So it looks kind of ruggedized. For whatever reason, these black fender wells have always made a car look more rugged than it is. I mean, oh my God, look at the color of that green back there. I love that car. I don't know what car that is, but I hope
VW, actually. It might be the same color as we just saw with the Tiguan.
It might be the Tiguan. All right. Let's keep going, though. So Subaru, and then the 2026 Kia EV4. That does not look like the Kia EV4, does it? I guess it is.
It doesn't look like a Kia.
It doesn't look like a Kia, that's for sure. Price between $35,000 and $40,000. Kia improved iPedal 3.0 regenerative pedal power. So it's basically a bicycle, and you have to, and then to stop it, you have to stick your feet down on the ground.
That might be safer than the cheese wedge.
But it is an EV. So it says thanks to existing cars like the EV6 and EV9, Toyota 2025 NYIAS. The company is looking to keep the momentum rolling with the debut of the EV4, which incorporates many of the headline features from its previous battery-powered offerings. I will never buy an EV if it takes 6 hours to charge it.
True, but is that your main objection to this car model?
Oddly enough, I dig it because it looks very cyberpunky.
It looks to me like it was in an accident. Like all the dimensions seem out of whack.
So yeah,
I can see that. If it was like in gray or black or something, or something.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, and I think the reason why you say that is because it looks like a snub-nosed vehicle. Like somebody just took a stick and whacked the front end in.
Yeah.
And then somebody shaved the top down.
Yes.
Right? And then its butt is really like flat. Like
it's like multiple cars going on, it seems.
Pushed into, yeah, it has like a Porsche front end, but then it has that little pinched like rear end, like the coupe. Like the coupe back end, yeah. There's other cars that, like the CRV, I think it is, that pinches down triangularly, like towards the bumper. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I kind of dig the angular side of this. Luckily, this is the last article for our show, so we can carry this on until, we're bored or whatever. This looks like a render as well. Again. Yeah, the Nightfall edition, which is in white for whatever reason. If I hear Nightfall and I see a white vehicle, I just want to smack the marketing.
Black, especially with the blackout.
Yeah, just straight out blackout. Just this whole thing. This thing should be that. What is that blackout paint that is so
Vanta Black?
Vanta Black. This whole damn car should just be Vanta Black. If I get into this car, I should disappear from the planet.
Exactly.
When you call it Nightfall edition.
That's what it was advertised as.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, it this stuff sitting on this screen floor with the moire pattern is making it surreal.
It's
Like
really, yeah, it makes it look like they're all
it's hard on
renders.
my brain. What's happening? This car looks like it has enough space in it for activities. Like you could have a football team playing
Like playing the game.
in the it's huge. Genesis X or Genesis 10, I don't know what they call it, the Grand Equator concept is easily one of the most striking cars. What the hell? It's like a station wagon and a Land Rover fell in love.
It's like a almost like a muscle car on the front, and then
yeah.
I don't know what on the back, like a what were those odd cars? Oh shoot,
yeah.
it has a funny name.
What is that?
You know what I'm thinking of? It's kind of
yeah,
like, a little triangular in the back.
What's the one where oh goodness, where they sing the song from Queen and
That's
in
exactly the car, but what is it?
Damn it, what is that car?
It has a funny name.
Yeah, hold on. It wasn't a Pinto.
No.
Was that a Pinto? No, it wasn't a Pinto. What is the other one? But it's from that era. Damn it. Yeah, but I get what I'm picking up what you're dropping, hey, AI. So look, it even gets a little bit more.
Oh, interesting.
It's kind of surreal. Look, it's ruggedized tires. This is like a car that you would put together if you're going to go and have a car battle somewhere, like Car Wars, and drive. It's almost Mad Max-ish. If it wasn't for the fact that it has this styling, it's not rugged enough, but these tires look like they would chew up anything that it drives over. Oddly enough, I kind of dig it. It's very steampunkish. What the hell? It has like guardrails for your cups. All right.
Oh, that's interesting. I cannot find the type of car.
It's okay. We'll survive. Maybe somebody can post it in chat over on YouTube. All right. It's very steampunky. So the Lucid Gravity is another vehicle. Let's see. It says that it has a 400. Okay. Not only is the Gravity, that's what it's called, Lucid Gravity, the fastest charging EV outside of China, capable of sucking down up to 400 kilowatts. It was also boasts a top range of up to 450 miles, which you never get because you're supposed to only charge to 80%, and every year you lose 1 to 2% on the top end of your battery. And so if you're supposed to keep bouncing between 10% and 80%, it takes you 30 minutes to get to 80%, and then it takes you 2, 3, 4, 6 hours to get to 100%. You're never getting 450 miles of range. So literally chop 90 miles off the top.
Exactly. Was it a gremlin?
Gremlin. Yeah. Yes. That's what it was.
I found it by going to a link that was like the ugliest car. So I couldn't find it through the original thread.
That's funny. Hold on. What was Bohemian Rhapsody, and what was the car that they sing in?
That's what I was trying to find, but I couldn't find anything identifying the song.
Hold on. AMC Pacer. That's the one that you're really looking for. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's the AMC Pacer. Yeah. So, okay. So this is the car. This is the Lucid Gravity. But this car is probably coming in close to $120,000 or more, I would say. But again, I don't think anybody should be buying EVs without fast swap battery tech. We need to make the market understand, or the manufacturers understand, that we need fast swap battery tech. I would rather pull into a gas station that is a fast swap battery station than to sit and use up a charging port for upwards of 6 hours out of my life in any given week. I do not want to dedicate 6 hours to charging.
I mean, you have to, well, plus you have to know whether you have any charging infrastructure in your area. Like if you don't have any that you've ever seen in your town, I would not even be considering an EV. And even then, you still have to really think about your lifestyle.
Northern United States, you are screwed. The breadbasket of the United States, you are screwed. Unless you're on a major thoroughfare, you are screwed. And so I've had people go, well, then you wouldn't buy one. I know, but the predominant number of people, right? I mean, there's high occupancy locations where you don't need a car at all, right?
True,
so
but
they don't
high
care.
Occupancy locations could also be a problem because other people are using the chargers.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's just and we've just like, oh, this is great. I like charging my car for 8 hours every day. No, we should demand more. But here we are.
Watch out. They'll give us 10-hour charging. Yeah,
really. Don't make me change this contract again. So Hyundai Ioniq 5 NTA spec is apparently taking Sony's naming convention to a whole new level. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 NTA specs name stands out for, or TA stands for time attack. SUV crossover class with a time of 9 minutes, 32 seconds for Pikes Peak. So this thing just zipped up Pikes Peak. This has to be nothing more than a skin because there's a roll cage in there. There has to be a roll cage inside this thing. That's the spoiler that's on this thing to keep its butt on the ground.
Oh, okay. I mean, it looks very sporty.
And there's a spoiler in the front, too. Anyway, it's basically a wing with wheels. Never just drive. No. Just drive. Thanks.
Right, anytime you need to race up a mountain, that might be the car for you.
Yeah, exactly. Maserati GT2, is it Stradale or Stradale? I don't know. Anyway, it's a Maserati, basically a road-legal version of the GT2 race car, which itself is based on the truly outrageous MC20 supercar. And as you'd expect, it has some pretty impressive specs. It's a pretty car. It looks like a Corvette. 0 to 60 times in 2.8 seconds, despite it only having rear-wheel drive.
I thought it looked a little bit like an Aventador.
Yeah, they all have that kind of...
I know, it's kind of a common
Aventador is a little
shape.
bit more angular. Yeah, you got to get those aerodynamics on there. So it's got these doors that flare out. Pretty cool. 1924 Chrysler 6 prototype. Debuted back in 1924 New York Auto Show. Granted, this thing is ancient, but at the time it was state-of-the-art, boasting the industry's first four-wheel hydraulic brakes, along with a 6-cylinder engine that produced a whopping 68 horsepower.
Oh, way more than the cheese wedge.
So after factoring in inflation, it had a sticker price of $29,000, which actually doesn't seem too bad. This thing is I'll buy it for $29,000.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know they had like old vehicles at these shows. I thought it was all about what's coming up.
Yeah, I don't know how often they do that either. I haven't been to an auto show in years and years and years. So they said the story has been updated to add information to the intro on public admission days and ticket prices, but it's like $22 and it goes for another 7 days. They have some more cars in the show, but probably not at this source right now. We'll always check back and see. I mean, we got another 7 days worth of this show underway. So, I mean, they have some.
Right. We'll probably see more articles for next week's FourWheelTech.
Yep. But that's it for today. Yay! FourWheelTech is done. So we are going to stomp on the thin pedal on the right, and that's going to accelerate us to FourWheelTech over at ohmtown.com, where you should go and become a citizen because, well, it's a lot of fun to talk about this stuff when you come and hang out with us Monday through Friday at around 7 p.m. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we typically start around 4 p.m. and do an hour and a half of show. But I don't know. We ended up doing long shows today and yesterday. I'm not quite sure why, but we did. You want to say bye? Oh, great sentient AI from on high.
Bye-bye, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for this week's FourWheelTech. We'll have another episode next weekend, but come back tomorrow for our regular non sequitur news.
Yeah, non sequitur news, where the articles are taken from everywhere across ohmtown.com. We have 50 channels that information is aggregated into from various sources, and then we parse them personally. Back in 2022, I opened this up to everybody else to use it, and we don't charge. We don't have a mandatory fee. It's not a subscription service via Patreon or anything like that. Although I guess I could. I don't. Sentient AI is like, well, duh. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's where ohmTown is oriented in time and space, but there are no terrestrial boundaries of ohmTown. We are powered by the electrons at the confluence of science, technology, and society merging into the internets. We're out of here. Bye-bye.